Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So we're going to begin right here on zcrypto.com. We have a lot of powerful articles today. Remember to use those chapters, okay? So you can get the information just in case you don't have a lot of time. Powerful stuff today. Let's begin here. This article is titled, Legal Expert Has No Doubt, Zero Doubt, No Doubt, Ripple Will Win Legal War Against SEC. Can it supercharge XRP? Listen, if we win that case, XRP's going to explode. It's just my humble opinion, not financial advice. There's no way it doesn't. We're doing so many good things, but let's continue right here. It says, crypto lawyer and founder of crypto law, John E. Deaton, has expressed confidence that a momentous Ripple win against the rogue. Hey, wait a minute. That's my word. Zcrypto, you jacking me for my lingo. Hold on a second here. It says, overbearing U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is bound to happen. This comes after Ripple General Counsel Stuart Algorand hinted at the fintech company's willingness to fight the case right to Supreme Court. Yes, Ripple, do it. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Take this all the way. We go as far as we need to go to win the war. No stepping back, no retreat, no surrender. We're right there with you. Let's do this. Bring home the victory. Let's continue on here. It says why Deaton sees a definite win for Ripple. It says as long as the long drawn out lawsuit between Ripple and the SEC draws toward an end, most experts are optimistic the San Francisco based payments firm will prevail. General Counsel, here comes the good part, people, pay attention to this. General Counsel at Ripple Stuart Algorand pointed out in a recent tweet that the SEC has lost 4 out of 5 cases that have moved forward to the apex court. They've lost 4 out of 5. They're losers. But that's what that negativity gets you. When you keep that negative, low vibrational energy, it always brings you to a bad place. You know, no matter how many times you get over when you bully, trust me, the losses are far more devastating. Then they take you further back than the wins could ever take you forward. The SEC are losers at this point. We're battling people that are used to conceding, used to losing. They have to accept defeat at some point. But let's continue on here. That's important to know about the psychology of your enemy. Has the enemy lost before? How did they lose? Where did they lose? Can we use that on the battlefield against them? This is important, people. A lot of people don't put enough gravitas on psychological aspects to warfare. But let's continue on here. Basing his argument on these statistics, attorney John Deaton asserted he has no doubt Ripple will also gain victory over the SEC and put an end to his quote, gross overreach as a result. So listen, big things are happening. That's very powerful. That's a good piece of information to keep in mind, especially in this very, very heavy FUD season where it seems like so many people hate XRP. That's okay. But, you know, that's good information to have. Let's move on to this next article here. So this article comes from newsbtc.com. It's titled, XRP Whale Takes Out $19.7 million away from Binance. Bullish sign? I don't know. You tell me, article writer. Let's see what you have to say. So it's as per data from the cryptocurrency transaction tracker service Whale Alert, a large XRP transfer has been spotted on the Ripple blockchain during the last few hours. This transaction involved the movement of a total stack of 50 million. We're just going to keep it at that even number, make it easy. Tokens, which was worth a little more than $19.7 million. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. At the time the transfer was executed on the network. Since the numbers involved here are pretty big, the sender behind this transaction is likely to be a whale. These humongous investors make an important part of the XRP market that we know. Come on now, tell me something I don't know. Give me something good. The sending address of this XRP whale transfer was a wallet attached to the cryptocurrency exchange Binance, according to BitThump, right? The receiver, on the other hand, was an unknown address that had no known affiliations with any centralized platforms and was thus likely to be a personal wallet. Likely, but you don't know, right? But this is interesting. This is good movement. Listen, No matter where XRP is moving, it's a good thing. Let some people hold, let them use it, let them send it. Here's the beauty about XRP, no matter how you use it, it's great for the chain. It's great for the XRPL. It's great for XRP's price, right? And no matter what, when those banks step in, XRP is, in my humble opinion, is going to become a rarity. They're going to buy everything up in sight. Why would they not use the escrow mechanism? Why would they not use that when it brings a superior level of speed, transparency, efficiency, all of that type of stuff, security, to you as a utilizer of XRP and on-demand liquidity and all of the different offerings that they have built around XRP. So, yeah, no matter what, XRP is going to do well as long as we get through this case. And really, well, we're going to keep it focused on the victory for now. But really, XRP outright in the long term is going to do well. I say that because even without the West, like I said, the rest of the world is moving forward at a rapid pace, which you're going to see in these other chapters coming up here. Let's go here, right? Now we have a little bit of Algorand news. I was just saying the other day, not enough big mediums write about Algorand. And here you have it. The cryptonomist jumps out and says, hey, listen, Algorand is one of, if not the best amongst the blockchains out there, right? So it says here, this is on cryptonomist.cryptonomist.ch, and it says this: research firm CoinCodex tried to analyze 6 layer 1 blockchains, including Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, Avalanche, Algorand, and Internet Computer to understand the differences and merits. Interesting. Algorand placed well in 3rd place in the special ranking. 3rd place, interesting. And one of its strengths was certainly its speed. Algorand manages to process as many as 20 TPS every 4.5 seconds and has processing of 1200 TPS with instantaneous finality. That's a very important. That it wants to increase to 3000 TPS. What we're going to do in the future is nothing compared to what we're doing now. We're going to be so far in advance. They're already working on it. Now, here's where they can't match us when it comes to trust. They can't match us when it comes to trust, right? This is why you have central banks lined up to use Algorand. Central Bank of Italy, you have insurance companies, you have medical industry participants using Algorand, you have gaming participants using Algorand, you have real estate participants using Algorand. I mean, come on, none of these other chains have that much going on. These other offerings are nowhere near Algorand. Governments trust Algorand. World governing organizations trust Algorand. Central banks trust Algorand. And we're truly global. So that's how I feel about that. But I'm glad to see an article written on them, Algorand getting some shine, their proper respect. So we have a little bit more information in relation to Algorand. We know Algorand is deep in the gaming sphere, right? So we have this article here on beincrypto.com, and it goes as such: blockchain gaming continues its steady rise, making up 48% of DApp activity. Now, do you see why it's so important that Algorand is deep in the gaming sphere? That's a lot of volume and value that's going to be flowing through there, especially when it comes to Web3 style gaming, you know, on these, like how you have the games in some of these apps, then you have them on websites. I mean, 48% of DApp activity. Let's scroll down here and read a little bit more. But we are the deepest when it comes to all of blockchain, when it comes to gaming, how many gaming offerings that we have. Now, it says, the new report by DApp Radar and the Blockchain Gaming Association, BGA, makes for a positive reading. On-chain gaming activity rose 1.31% to 858,621 DUAW, making up 48% of January DApp activity. On-chain gaming activity refers to transactions within games that take place on smart contracts on a blockchain. Now listen, all of these different gaming offerings, and if you go to Algorand's Twitter, you can actually scroll down and you'll see where they post like weekly or bi-weekly as of recent on all the different gaming offerings and what they have going on. Now just imagine when people are buying special skins and clothing, all these different things in Algo, and how much volume and value that could bring. And people love to customize their characters. Now combine that with NFTs. Now your character is super customized because nobody else can buy that skin. Nobody else can buy those shoes, that hair. You have that type of value. And keep in mind, over time, people may want to sell those NFTs. So it's going to gain value over time. The more unique the offering is, and the more desired that it is, the more that price can go up, theoretically speaking, as long as there's a desire or demand for it, right? So then you're going to have value, the value increasing that is moving across the chain, also in conjunction with volume. So increased volume and increased value over time. That could be exponential, but we have to watch and see how that works out. But this could be massive. This could be major, right? Gaming tokens have been promising growth area for the crypto ecosystem. The market caps of the top gaming tokens increased by 122% on average. There we have it. Okay, so now let's move on to another article here. So then we have this little post here from Applied Blockchain. I believe it was retweeted by Algorand. And it says, quote, if you went to any computer scientist and asked them what was the most technically efficient way to exchange value, I don't think there is a more efficient way to do that than through blockchain today. This was retweeted by Algorand. They have this understanding. They know that they're going to be moving a massive amount of capital. There is no other way. Listen, he said, if you ask any computer scientist, they would say blockchain is the most efficient. It was retweeted by Algorand. They know what's going on. They're planning on and expect to move a massive amount of capital around the world. Of course, over time, everything happens in degrees. But when that happens, what does it do to that algo price? Right? So keep that in mind. That's why I always like these little posts here. And this is from John Woods, CTO at Algorand, and Adi Ben Ari. Okay, so this is powerful stuff. This is coming right from some of the most powerful people in the industry right now. So I take that very seriously. So now I just want to show you this here. We're going into a little bit of Stellar related news, right? It's Stellar related. Naira. Now this article title, I don't think they got this right at all, but it's okay because I understand people, you have to draw a little bit of attention and make your title a little bit exciting. It says Naira is crippled. No, actually it's not. They continue to improve the Naira, but what's happening over there, so let me read the entire title before I give you my thoughts. Naira is crippled. Nigeria in talks with NY-based company for revamp. Well, it says after multiple attempts to create an efficient digital currency, which they have. The Central Bank of Nigeria is turning to a New York tech firm to revamp underlying technologies. Now, let me stop there and just say that this shows the possibility of swapping out who is at the lead on the technology and the advancements of a CBDC. A CBDC is going to be an ongoing thing where it's always going to have to upgrade because the technologies right now are moving at a light speed. It doesn't mean that the old technology, the base, the substantial, essential element of that technology is bad. No, they're building on it. And BIT confirms that here. BIT, which obviously BIT has worked with hand in hand with Stellar over the years for very, very successful projects that were praised by the Bank of International Settlements. You know that. But so what's going on? BIT actually confirms here, like, no, we're still working with the Central Bank of Nigeria, but we have the understanding we've always known that they bring in on all of their technological offerings, they bring in other companies, which is smart. They bring in other companies to enhance projects. So we all kind of work together. That's what they confirm here. And that's what they want. So once you start scrolling through this, this article, it sort of brings to light something that many people have thought about. And I have actually spoken on about CBDCs in the future. Don't get me wrong, make all your money from the CBDCs. But as far as the outright use of CBDCs, there is a lot of potential for central banks and governments to make a power grab at any point. That's what this looks like here. So I want to actually find the spot. It's right here. Listen to how they phrase this. This is what it's about. You see, that initial offering still allowed the external companies, the non-banking financial institutions, the fintechs, to have some sway over the project once it's complete, to have a measure of control over that project and its course for the future. You understand what I'm saying? But this is what it says here. New software for the Naira will be created to allow the Central Bank of Nigeria to have complete control over the initiative. That's what this is about, power. It says, however, the unnamed source said the matter is confidential. This is about power. The initial offering was great. The initial platform is okay. This is about power. Says in a statement, BIT said it was aware that the CBN with various partners for its works with various partners for its technological innovations. It confirmed that it still works closely with the CBN and is, quote, currently developing additional features and enhancements. So that's why they're bringing in R3, I believe it is. Yes, it says it right here. Nigerian Financial Authority has discussed these plans with the New York-based technology firm R3. So they're bringing in R3 to implement whatever it is that they're going to need, whatever mechanism, so they can have full control over the projects, which means, you know what that means. So that's what it's about. And it's something that I will watch out for when it comes to other CBDCs around the world. How much control, how much power they're going to have over this. It's supposed to be like digital cash, right? How much privacy are you going to have? And it's going to differ region to region. All right. So that's very interesting. We'll keep a close eye on these developments here. All right. So now let's move on here. So now more Stellar news. This is huge. This is big. You know, the Stellar is a part of the CFTC's new advisory board, right? Global Markets, the Global Markets Advisory Committee. They had a meeting on February the 13th. Now, if you go to their website here, cftc.gov, and you scroll down, you're going to see a link here that you can click on to watch the actual video. I was looking for a transcript of the meeting. I would rather read than watch a video. I really don't like watching videos very often. I prefer to read. It allows me to absorb the information and analyze the information a little bit better. And I can read over something 2, 3, 4 times to really let it sink in. Now, listen, there's an individual in that video. Her name was Paulina Hack. Sorry about that. I miswrote the middle name there. Paulina Hack was saying some powerful things, right? But firstly, before we talk about that, you see the other powerful entities that are on this advisory board? JP Morgan, I believe, Goldman Sachs is on there. BlackRock is on there. These are the people that Stellar is rubbing shoulders with. BlackRock. That is a powerful advisory board. The CFTC has a few of these advisory boards. I think they said it like they have about 5 of them. We have to stay aware of what's going on, the discussions that are going on here. They're dropping some powerful information. Now back to Paulina Hack. Paulina Hack was saying that they're playing around with ideas about how to go around certain regulatory legacy system regulatory laws and such like that, because they don't believe in certain areas in Europe. They don't believe that that blockchain should be regulated according to the legacy system standards. That was interesting. Now, then also, they said that there is the knowledge amongst a great amount of people in power in Europe that existing security frameworks were not sufficient to regulate crypto. Isn't this what people have been saying in the United States for the longest time? And the regulators say no. So this is a powerful statement that Paulina Hack is making. Go watch that video, right? CFTC.gov. But that's a powerful statement to make at a meeting that was supposed to just be about the basics and the formulation and how they're going to go about formulating and running everything for the commission. Paulina Hack just went right in with a lot of powerful information. So then also, Paulina Hack talked about the push for coming up with self-standing, this is how she said it, self-standing crypto-based regulation, that they felt that that's what's right. And there's a big push for it. That would be major. Yes, Europe, do it. Please. And set it off for the rest of the world to follow. You can't wait on the United States. Don't wait on them. I like what I was hearing. I have a lot more to watch. That was a 4-hour video, by the way. But you get a lot in the first 45 minutes. You get a whole lot in that video, okay? So this is powerful, and Stellar is on this advisory board. So Stellar is going to have a lot of input. They have meetings coming up in the future. I think that we should definitely listen in. You can also write into them. They have an email here and a telephone number. You can actually make your presence felt and let your thoughts be heard. So we probably will do that as well. We've done it before, not with this governing body. This is new. I mean, advisory board. This isn't a new one, but we've done it in the past plenty of times. This might be major. They're moving at a light speed is what I gather from that. And it sounded very good. but we'll keep our eye on it, and there's no guarantees. So now let's move on to another article here. Another little bit of news here. How's everybody doing out there? You doing good? I hope you are. So now the new financial system rolls ahead, full steam. This is from CoinDesk.com. Deutsche Bank completes asset management tests with Memento blockchain, putting Domani's DXTF tokens into focus. The collaboration between Deutsche Bank and Memento blockchain aims to address the challenges associated with launching and accessing digital asset funds. This goes to show you, so you're seeing all of these massive pushes from large banks and even non-banking financial institutions to integrate the new financial system. They're in some sort of massive rush, right? We're getting all this CBDC information. We're getting interoperability information. They're struggling for it, but they're reaching out to the different blockchain companies. The interoperability is going to be key. That means that anyone who's capable of efficiently and securely moving around capital is going to get a piece of that money flowing through them, right? The bank coins obviously are at the forefront, but you do have some specifically interoperability focused protocol like Flare. Flare also a finance coin in my humble opinion, but is going to be locking up a lot of value and linking up a lot of different systems. You have Quant. Well, Quant is just an outright bank coin at this point. Yes, interoperability is the crux of what Quant does, but they're connected to so many banks. Yeah, they got to be at the top of the top when you're talking bank coin list. But we can't gloss over that over ledger aspect of Quant. That's going to bring a lot of value. I mean, I would have never imagined things happening so fast. You know, it's funny. One of our esteemed members, I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was blockchain 663. I think it was blockchain 663. Blockchain 663 has a lot of knowledge, puts out a lot of good information. Something like, the time frame may not be that long, as long as like the Bank of International Settlements is saying. They're saying 2 to 3 years now. Before they said 3 to 5. Now they're saying 2 to 3. Then Ripple said 4 years. That was last year. So then that would leave 3.5 years left, right? Before everything is fully rolled out. That's according to them. But my people, esteemed members, one of them said it may not take that long. That's interesting. And they called it too. It seemed like they're moving at light speed. We have some brilliant people here on the channel, I tell you. So now let's move on to another article here. Okay. New financial system rolling forward at full steam. That's what I get from that. So now, of course, we have to cover a little bit of layoff news. Polygon lays off 20% of its staff. So we know layoffs have been going on in a lot of different industries. Facebook laying people off, Tesla laying people off, Amazon laying people off in mass, bank after bank laying people off. This is being kept quiet is something that really should not be kept quiet and should be discussed widely, because a lot of people are going to be affected by this. So it says here, Polygon, a secondary scaling solution provider founded by 3 Indians for Ethereum blockchain, has laid off 20% of its team, impacting 100 employees. The firm's co-founder, Sandeep Nailwal, said in a blog post on Tuesday. He said the layoffs are part of a restructuring of the Layer 2 blockchain company. The development comes at a time when the cryptocurrency sector has been witnessing a prolonged down cycle. Yes, but Polygon, Matic, has been doing a great job making massive deals. So they're doing well. So in the future, they can bring those people back if they're going to be available, or they can bring more people in the future. But right now, I think that a lot of layoffs are happening as precautionary measures for what we're going into globally, which looks like, well, they're calling it a global recession, but it's looking like a global depression with how many layoffs there have been, how many layoffs, companies closing down. It's been something insane to witness, right? So I think this is more precautionary measures just to protect themselves in the future, but we'll keep an eye on this. But once again, more layoffs are happening. There you have it. Let's continue on to another article here. So right along with the new financial system, Web3 is going to play a huge part in the new financial system. You can't get around it. The banks want digital representations of themselves in Web3, just like I called it about 1.5 years ago, or it was a year, maybe 2 months when I made that first video. I don't know. You can go back and watch those videos. But I had said the banks, as well as movie theaters and a few other things, will have their digital representation in the metaverse, which now they're kind of leaving the metaverse term behind and just saying Web3, but it's Web3 metaverse is the same thing. So it says here, global technology firm Bosch Partners and the launch of a new foundation committing $100 million to a Web3 AI and to IoT grant program. This shows you the potentiality of Web3. They wouldn't put this kind of money behind it if there wasn't going to be a heck of a return on investment. And a lot of us are deep. And first of all, the bank coins are going to be deep in Web3. That's number one. But also a lot of us are deep in, have been for a long time in those tokens that have like gaming offerings, metaverse coins, like Zilliqa is a metaverse coin. Their Metopolis is amazing. But, you know, we have known this for quite some time, but we're seeing it manifest now. Let's read this little tidbit here. $100 million is being earmarked for a grant program funding the development of Web3 artificial intelligence and decentralized technologies in a partnership between Bosch and Fetch.ai. The two companies are collaborating to create the Fetch.ai Foundation, which will aim to fuel industrial adoption of innovative software, AI, and Web3 technologies. The initiative will fund research and develop decentralized technologies for real-world use cases. The program will provide $100 million in grants to fund the long-term development of Web3 solutions and services for the mobility, industrial technology, and consumer industries. An announcement shared with Cointelegraph indicates that the grant program will invest in select companies and partners over a 3-year period. All right, so there we go. Web3, full steam ahead. A lot of money, a lot of capital, a lot of great opportunities are going to arise when it comes to Web3. Now let's end off with this little article here. All right. Now, this is a powerful one. All right. I've been talking about it for a long time. The BRICS nations, them doing dollar dumps. Articles have been written about it by the hundreds. Dollar dumping, trying to back their currencies with oil, trying to back their currencies with gold and other commodities. That they control such a huge population of the world right now, and they're getting more and more members signing up. What does that do to the dollar? This is something that people that live by the dollar, like their life either goes up or down with the dollar. This is something that they need to pay attention to in the West. But they're not. But let's read this little tidbit here. Let's see what the experts say. This is from Bitcoin.com, news.bitcoin.com. Expert predicts looming economic collapse. So it's not just alphaning. I've been talking about this for a long time, haven't I? It's not just me now. Now you have an expert corroborating what I'm saying. It's not guaranteed, but it's a high possibility. Expert predicts looming economic collapse as BRICS nations unite against the dollar. Because the dollar is a weapon, folks. Nobody wants to use a weapon. Says here, Andy Schectman, CEO of Miles Franklin Precious Metals Investment, explained in a recent interview that the 5 leading emerging economies, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, collectively known as BRICS nations, are, quote, coalescing against the dollar. Mr. Schectman, I've been trying to tell people for a long time, sir. I hope they listen to you, because I don't know how many people have been listening to me. I'm trying to warn them. It's going to get dangerous. So many people, all of their value is locked up in the dollar, and they don't like gold. For some reason, the people have been turned against gold, sir. The one thing that could protect them in any type of collapse, my word. But they have all their value in dollars. If there's an economic collapse, sir, and that dollar goes down, it's going to be pain. This is nothing we can do about it, sir. All we can do is just say what we're witnessing, what we're researching, and what the people do is up to them. But, wise ones would take precautionary measures just in case, right? De-dollarization in CBDCs. It says, in an interview published on February the 16th, 2023, Miles Franklin executive Andy Schectman discussed his economic predictions with Michelle McCory, the lead anchor and editor-in-chief at Kitco News. Schectman expects a large portion of the world to abandon the US dollar. What's that going to do to dollar value? And he also predicts a tsunami of inflation. I was talking about that also. People told me, they said, hey, this is not going to get worse than what it is now. That's what they told me en masse. And I said, hey, I have to respectfully disagree. There is the possibility it could get worse. No guarantee, but there's a possibility. And that's something you have to prepare for. Let's continue on. He also predicts a tsunami of inflation. With rising inflation, Sheckman suggests that the interest rate set by the U.S. Federal Reserve will continue to rise, and a collapse, if they continue to raise it, more people are going to lose their jobs. You know that, right? Massive job losses. And a, quote, collapse in asset prices will soon follow. I agree with everything he's saying so far, and I don't know this gentleman, but he sounds wise. Sheckman's opinion is similar to that of Lynette Zhang, chief market analyst at ITM Trading. How many professionals have to warn the people? We'll see. It says, in a recent interview with Kitco's Macquarie, like Zhang, Sheckman expects an economic collapse and suggests that it will be the time for a great reset to take place. How many people, I wonder, actually made it to this chapter and are hearing this massive information that they need to hear? Protect yourself at all costs. No guarantee this is going to occur, but keep your eyes open and your ears open. I'm going to try to keep you up to date on this channel best I can. It will be time for a great reset to take place. The Riddlers are having, if the Riddlers are reading this information right now, they're doing a dance, because the Riddlers, you know, there's like a section of XRP community that do the riddles and stuff, and they decode everything. They've been right on a lot of things. I'm going to say that right now. They've been right. They're doing a little dance right now. Right? They've been calling for the collapse and then the great reset. And then that's when everything is rolled out, new financial system, then the prices explode. They've been saying that for a long time. It just came to mind when I'm reading this. It says it will be the time for a great reset to take place with central bank digital currencies being ushered in. Boom. Sheckman says that the US dollar was weaponized in 2020. Then I say that I've been calling it a weapon for a long time. They're confirming everything I've been saying. And as a result, de-dollarization seems to be spinning much faster. See, the people, when they hear on the news about sanctions, they don't immediately think, oh, US dollars is being used as a weapon. It's like in their minds, and I know this from talking to people, it's almost like they separate sanctions from US dollars. No, US dollar is the weapon. All right. But anyway, it's the prime weapon. SWIFT, the US dollar, prime weaponry. All right. The Miles Franklin executive and monetary historian, I didn't know that, sir. Nice. Believes that the BRICS nations are coalescing against the dollar. Quote, all it would take, Sheckman said, quote, would be for Saudi Arabia. We were just covering this. Are you hearing this? You seeing where we're going with this? Would be for Saudi Arabia to stand up on the stage and declare we're now going to consider taking up other currencies for oil. And that, folks, I've been talking about is called the death of the petrodollar. I've been calling it. Now you got the experts coming out. Do you hear the trumpets, the horns playing? And all of a sudden, bang, all of the countries that had to hold dollars for the last 50 years no longer have an interest in holding them. Saudi Arabia is in the driver's seat. Guess who's deep in Saudi Arabia that can move any value anywhere, anytime? Guess who's deep in there? The bank coins, Algorand, Ripple, deep in there. Hedera, deep. Do your research and look it up for yourself. See for yourself. Because if this happens, boom, prices might, no guarantee, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't want to be. But prices might go up if that were to happen. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.